Welcome to the Dirt to Dollars YouTube channel. My name is Brady Carlson. I'm one of the co-founders of Dirt to Dollars. And on this channel, this is going to be the first of many sit-down videos where we discuss all things scaling land management businesses. So land clearing, excavation, site prep, tree work, you name it, if it falls underneath that roof, we're going to be talking about exactly how to scale those businesses using proven marketing and sales systems. So super excited to dive into it with you, and without further ado, let's go into the first of many topics that we're going to be covering, but just a broad overview: how to generate appointments for your business on a consistent basis. So let's dive into it. The problem is that most land management business owners are really stuck in a cycle where your problem isn't actually doing the work. You're probably very good at what you do, very skilled, very talented, probably have a killer crew working for you as well. But the problem is consistency and actually landing jobs on a consistent basis to keep your machines busy, keep yourself busy, keep your crews busy, so you can stay booked out, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months at a time, whatever the case may be, with consistent work. And it starts with lining up consistent on-site appointments where you are actually speaking with your ideal buyer every single day, every single week, and just rinse and repeat. Like, that's what most people end up missing, is that yes, you can be very, very good at what you do, but the biggest thing is actually selling the work that you're good at doing, right? And to do that, you have to be speaking with new people, new interested buyers on a consistent basis. Most of you are probably relying on word of mouth, referrals. Maybe you have a website, maybe you don't. I'm sure you've probably used like Angie's List, Home Advisor, or something of the sort in some way, shape, or form, and it doesn't lead to any long-term sustainability within a business. You need that asset, that acquisition system, to be built out within your business so it's continuously generating you more work every week, every quarter, whatever the case is, on a consistent basis. That's going to be a very key term that I use throughout this video, is consistency, right? So what most people overlook, to dive into things here, the first part that we're going to be covering is where to actually start looking for that ideal buyer, right? So where we've seen by far the biggest and quickest results for all of our clients is actually through Meta, through Facebook and Instagram ads. Those have proven in literally just 99% of every business that we've worked with to tap them into that new audience, get new eyeballs onto their business quickly, and convert them into buyers quickly as well. Now, if you heard me say Facebook and Instagram, I'm not talking about boosting a Facebook post, having a Facebook automated campaign. I'm definitely not talking about posting in Facebook Marketplace or running an ad there or something of the sort there. It's inconsistent and it's not reliable. There's no targeting behind it. There's no presets, there's no funnel behind it that's actually allowing you to target and keep your content and your business in front of people who are actually interested and who are actually qualified to buy from you in the first place. So first things first, where you want to find yourself in Meta is actually within a Facebook ad account, right? I'll throw up a screenshot of what that looks like on the screen here in just a second, but this is what you want to look for. If you want to be in this place, if you are in an ad account, you are much closer than many people end up getting, so congratulations. In here is where you actually want to build out your campaign and actually put some of the the manual targeting presets in place right here, so that way you can actually be targeting your ideal buyer and have control over where your ad spend goes, right? So the way that ad spend works, and most people think of ad spend as another expense that their business has to pick up every single month, that they look at it as an expense when it should be looked at as an investment, right? The way that we view ad spend is it's a very methodical approach, right? So let's say you have your vehicle, and your vehicle is your ad campaigns, right? Your ad campaigns are going to be what's actually reaching buyers and generating buyers for you on the front end at the top of your funnel. Those campaigns being your vehicle, the ad spend is going to be the fuel for that vehicle, essentially determining how far those vehicles get every single day, every single week, every single month, and so on, right? The more fuel you have in the vehicle, the farther that the vehicle can go, right? So what is the ad spend going to determine? It'll determine a few things. It's going to determine how many people you can show your ads to on a daily basis, right? Which the more people you show your ads to on a daily basis, the more leads you're going to get, right? The ad spend's also going to determine how many leads you get, how many on-site appointments you're able to convert from those leads, and then ultimately how many closed deals you will be locking up as well. Essentially, once you have those systems dialed in and you have those campaigns dialed in, the more you spend will be the more that you get back in return, essentially. So that's going to be a super important note to take from here. Ad spend, it's not an expense to the business. Look at it as an investment. Look at it as fuel for a vehicle that's going to essentially keep pushing your business along and keep it consistent, keeping your pipeline full consistently with leads, new opportunities that you can convert into on-site appointments, then ultimately convert them into a deal. Now, one last note on the ad spend. When you are spending it, you want to be tracking your data as much as you possibly can, right? So you wanted to actually determine how much do you have to spend in ad spend, right? To, in our case here, Facebook and Instagram, to actually get one job back in return. And then how much does that average job cost? Or how much new cash does that bring into the business? So that way you can determine what your cost per acquisition is and your return on ad spend, your ROAS, on the ad spend that you're actually dishing out, right? Because that's how you're going to be able to determine the scalability of the campaign that you have in place. When it comes to ads, if this is going to be one of the first campaigns that you're setting up, I wouldn't go too crazy. Just kind of start with like some easy creatives just to kind of get the ball rolling on your end. Some drone shots work great if you got access to a drone. But even if you just have like your phone, get out on one of your job sites, just set it up on a tripod, do like a time lapse. Hopefully, your machines have, your decals on there and everything as well, so you can kind of showcase that. But time-lapse videos work very well. Pictures of you, the business owner, standing in front of some of your machines with your crew, maybe with a homeowner you just did work for, or a contractor you just did work for, or whatever. That type of stuff goes over really, really well. And as much of that as you can possibly get will be super beneficial for you, because the more creatives that you have, Facebook's going to recognize that, and it's going to favor your campaigns essentially. So you got to think about what Facebook's incentive is they want to keep users engaged on the app as much as they possibly can, and the way that they do that is by showing people new content time and time again. So when you're running your ads and you have a whole variety of different ads that you're running, and somebody can see something new every time, Facebook will favor campaigns that are set up that way. And it'll go over super well in the long run when it comes to retargeting people as well. But as far as content goes, wouldn't get too crazy with it. Simple videos, simple pictures. No need to reinvent the wheel here. Super easy with it. Plug them in to your ad account. If you are in the ads manager, I definitely recommend doing manual placements. Don't do Advantage Plus. It's normally a little bit of a money grab on Facebook's end, if you ask me. But I would just do manual placements, and I would make sure that your ads are getting delivered to feed and Reels. Those are going to be the two most important places. Those are going to be the two locations that you'll get the highest conversions from. Okay, so now that you have your campaign set up, now it's what do you do with the lead after? When somebody actually clicks on the ad, what is the journey that they go through now? So, one thing that you can set up that's pretty easy actually in the ad account is just setting up an instant form, a Facebook form, right on there. So that way or a Facebook lead form, excuse me. So when they actually click on your ad, they go right to a form where, you can have them answer a certain amount of questions. But the important stuff is get a name, get a phone number, and get an email. At the very least, make sure you're getting those three things. And then when they come in, you can either send them to Messenger to start a conversation with you, or you can set it up so that way you can get like a notification for it or something like that. We'll talk in a second about where you should be delivering your leads, so that way you can keep them all organized. And where every single person is in the sales process, to keep everything organized and still scalable on your end. So you're definitely gonna need to have things organized once you see a huge uptick in volume coming in to your business with new opportunities from this campaign, right? So now that you have your form set up, you're now receiving lead information in one way or another, whether it's just through Messenger or you're sending them into a CRM or something. What do you do with them now? So most people think like, oh, like I'll call them a couple of times. If they don't answer, like I won't try calling again. Do not do that. The difference between advertising leads and leads that you may be very used to right now selling to, word of mouth, whatever it is, referral leads, those word of mouth and referral leads are like, they're 9 times out of 10 going to show up waving money in your face, ready to move forward with a project immediately, right? These people are not going to be like that. These are people who don't know you, in most cases don't know you. They don't know anybody that you've done work for. They're not aware of the great things that you're capable of doing yet because they just don't know you, or they don't know anybody that you've actually done work for in the past. So you need to be able to keep that in mind. And once you can actually convert cold traffic like this, like let's say, your word of mouth referral lead, maybe they're a 9 out of 10 ready to go. This cold internet lead, they might be a 5 out of 10 ready to go, right? And it's not that they're uninterested in you. They are interested if they take the time to actually fill out the form that you have set up and they actually opt in to speak with your business. They are interested. There is some layer of interest there, but they might be looking for the right person to actually do their project. They might not be totally sure that you can actually do what they want, or they might not be overly confident yet that you can do what they want. Your job when they opt in and that person is maybe a 5 out of 10, you want to educate them to actually warm them up. That's where you have to, your job now is to get them from a 5 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 and close the deal. If you can get good at doing this with converting cold internet traffic into paid deals, your business is going to thrive. Your business is going to thrive and you will crush your competition if you can master doing this. So really, really, really important. There's going to be more videos to come in the future, sales tips, things that we've seen work when it comes to converting cold internet traffic into paying clients and actual cash collected for your business. But super, super important that you at least recognize that they're not in the same buying stage as somebody who a referral might be, or a word of mouth lead might be to you. Different stage of the buying process. It's super important that you understand that, right? So now you're doing everything that you can. And like I mentioned earlier, do not call them twice. And if they don't answer, like just don't ever call them again. We have a rule in-house at Dirt to Dollars when we're calling obviously on behalf of our clients' accounts and whatever. 10, 10, and 10 rule. 10 phone calls, 10 texts, 10 emails before you give up on a lead. Bare minimum. And sometimes we end up doing a lot more, okay? These people are working, like they're working during the week, like you might catch them at like a wrong time. Like don't call them once and then text them and be like, hey, waiting for me to call you back. Do not leave any of your leads sitting like that. Super, super important that you realize that, because the numbers game is super important. The numbers game, like that's another common underlying theme that you're going to see here, from the ad campaigns to when it comes to actually working on converting these people and playing the numbers game. Implement the 10, 10, and 10 rule on every single cold internet lead that you're able to get opt-in for your business. Going to be really important as well. Now, what do you do with all of these leads? Like, how do you keep them all organized? Obviously, you're going to need to keep them all organized to be able to implement a system like the 10, 10, and 10. You're going to want to use some type of a CRM. So there's a lot of them out there. Go High Level is a good one. HubSpot, Salesforce, like there's a bunch of like good CRMs out there. Honestly, I recommend Go High Level for just sending all of your leads into here. And basically what you're going to be able to do out of here, for those of you that are unaware, is it's basically going to become like your front office essentially, and it's going to act as like a unified inbox for like all of your leads that you're attracting, right? So everything that comes in from Facebook, Instagram, from TikTok, from LinkedIn, whatever you might have set up for your business, these leads will populate inside the CRM with like their name, their phone number, and their email. And then you can actually set up a phone number for yourself, so you can call them, you can text them, you can also email them out of here as well. That way you're not using your personal phone or anything like that. As well. So it just kind of keeps everything a lot cleaner. You can set up like a whole pipeline for yourself, so you can track people from new leads to when you convert them into an on-site appointment, to when you have the bid out, how much the bid is worth, to when the deal is actually closed. So there's going to be a lot of different use cases for CRMs like that, but highly recommend implementing one as well when you're launching new internet campaigns. So in this case, social media, so Facebook and Instagram. you're most likely, the idea here is to be, getting a huge influx of volume into the business, and being able to convert these deals at scale. You're going to want an organized way and a streamlined way of actually doing that. If you do think your business is at the right place to actually take it to the next level and you're ready to put things into hyperdrive, you might be interested in working with our team. What do you get when you work with us? You get a full-blown marketing team. We specialize in everything from Meta ads to Google ads, TikTok ads, cold email, organic, you name it. We're basically proficient in all of it when it comes to digital marketing. You get an in-house sales team. We're actually calling every single one of your opportunities on behalf of you. You get full access to our entire team. You get full access to myself, my business partner, in a unified communications channel, just kind of making everything seamless. We're super big on the communication, so that way your team has full access and full 24/7 transparency with our team, and vice versa. We're super big on that, and we obviously love helping land management companies scale. So if you're interested, or if you think you might want to check that out, there's a link down in the bio. You can go ahead, check that out, and book a call with our team if you think you might be a good fit to work with us. But let's dive back into the video just to kind of wrap things up here. This entire system that we walked over, where you have meta ads, right? Some type of social media paid ad campaigns running for you, a way to convert them on the back end, and then the right sales process implemented as well, where they're going to be huge when it comes to actually scaling your business and tapping your business into newer and newer highs every single month, every single quarter. So this is really just like the foundation, and we barely even scratched the surface on any of these topics that we covered today. I kind of bounced around, but I wanted to make sure that you have at least the biggest things and the biggest takeaways from this, which is the basics on how to set up a campaign, where you should be, how you should be handling that traffic after they're opting in for you, where to actually keep everything organized. All of these things are super, super important, and definitely things that if you don't implement, your competition will implement at some point. So you want to make sure that you're going to be ahead of the curve. Any questions, comments, feel free to drop them down below. I'll do my best at getting back to everybody. So hope this helped, and we'll see you in the next one.